discuss video repurposing specifically for LinkedIn and YouTube? Well, you're going to have to stick around because we're going to talk about all of that in just a minute. Welcome to Waist Up Wardrobe. I'm Christine Vartanian, a civil engineer and attorney turned personal style expert and image consultant. As the founder of Jade for All Seasons, I am passionate about unveiling the inner confidence of my clients by developing their personal style. But is getting dressed up still important in our virtual world? Well, that's where my experience can help with what I call Waist Up Wardrobe. Waist Up Wardrobe is a podcast for all things you need to conduct an outstanding Zoom meeting. It's about how to dress for the camera, but it's not just about the clothes. It's about everything you need to know to show up on brand and professionally for the camera. Join me in the Waist Up Wardrobe studio to discuss how to navigate this virtual world and dominate from behind the desk. Hello, Virtual Nation. Thank you for joining us for episode 68 of Waist Up Wardrobe. And I just want to say that today is sort of a supplemental episode to the episode we had last week, which was episode 67, where we talked about how we make so much video in business and how do we then really capitalize on that content and use it, repurpose it, cut it up, chop it up, and reuse it for different platforms. There's so many different things we can do. But today, I wanted specifically to focus on the platform of LinkedIn and the platform of YouTube, because sometimes we forget about those two really effective platforms, especially LinkedIn. Because it's more geared towards a certain group of professionals, but there's so much you can do when it comes to using the video you've created and repurposing it for LinkedIn. And one of the things that we talked about in episode 67, which was about repurposing on multiple platforms, was this idea of this feature that LinkedIn has, and that is the slide share presentation feature. Now, slide share is specific and to LinkedIn. It's something that is specific to that medium. And it's designed to kind of create these presentations, but you can use your video to do that. And today on the show, Rick, my producer who makes this whole production happen, is going to join us, and he's going to talk to us about how some of these features work. And so I'd love to invite Rick Moscoso on here, my producer who's in the production room making everything happen here. And really we want to, hi Rick, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. We have discussed this, you and I, at length about SlideShare when it comes to that LinkedIn feature that we've explored, and that it could be kind of a missed opportunity if you really don't delve into using your video on LinkedIn. And, LinkedIn is a little bit limited with video, I think. I mean, they've expanded it a little bit, but I believe, there's a limitation on the length of videos on LinkedIn, but that has been changing a little bit. Do you have any ideas around the length of video that you can put onto LinkedIn before we get into SlideShare?
Yeah, pretty much everything that you can do on Facebook, you can do on LinkedIn as far as uploading content. So remember that you can directly upload videos to Facebook if you want. But I think more commonly and better SEO than that is to link from a YouTube channel and insert the link there, because now you have it on two platforms at the same time. So the same thing goes with LinkedIn. You mentioned a little bit about SlideShare, and back before like 2012, SlideShare was actually owned by LinkedIn. Since then, SlideShare was sold to a company called Scribed, and so right now, SlideShare is actually a standalone platform, or think of it as a host for PowerPoint presentations, basically, is what it is. Yeah.
And it's basically a presentation that you can put up on your LinkedIn as, to increase SEO and to, create some more like traffic on your site.
Yeah, absolutely. And since it's used widely within the LinkedIn platform, your target market obviously is going to be more on the professional side, people that are used to looking at and reviewing PowerPoint type presentations. And it's a great resource too. For instance, if you do go to slideshare.net, you can actually see uploaded presentations that people have. If there's a specific slide that you really like that's relevant to your topic, that maybe it's an infographic or something like that, you can download that slide and then use it in your own presentation. And so it's a great resource to kind of share information. It's a great resource to follow up. For instance, if you did a presentation to a bunch of professionals, right, and you said the presentation will be available on my LinkedIn page, you could embed it into LinkedIn through the SlideShare app. Okay, and so now they're in your house looking at your stuff that they just saw in a presentation, but then they may get curious, and then it's a way for them to see other things that you've done and other things that maybe you have to offer that's relevant to them.
Yeah. So if you've recorded video, though, video is something that you can use, chop up, and input into the SlideShare presentation. Is that correct?
So there's no confusion. Basically, if you think of it this way. Whatever you can put in a PowerPoint presentation, you can upload this to SlideShare. SlideShare is not a platform to create a presentation. It's a place to host a presentation. So you would create it offline. If you're on a PC, then obviously you use PowerPoint. If you're on a Mac, there's another equivalent platform to that you can do your Keynote, I believe it is, that you can do create your presentation on. But it's those platforms, it's those PowerPoint or Keynote, whatever form that you have it in, that you've created in, you take that and upload it to SlideShare.
I see. And, another thing that's really cool about this feature is that you can have, a call to action button, below your presentation, so that you can then direct people to, to increase like some traffic on your landing page, or to create some more SEO opportunities.
That's right. You can give them the capability to download your presentation, to get a digital asset, or whatever other call to action. I'll give you an example here. Let me just pull this up, and I'm going to share this.
And for those listening to us and not actually seeing the presentation, we'll have to explain a little bit what.
Yeah, I'll describe it.
Yeah.
So let's start here. Let me share this. So I'm starting on the slideshare.net website, and you can sign up for free and host any of your presentations, and you can look through whatever's here. They're featured SlideShares from other people. You can search via certain specific topics. And if I scroll down here to Gary V, he has a content model presentation that he did, and I have it queued up a tab here, so a little faster. But it's a pretty lengthy presentation. It's obviously he did this with a big audience. It's 86 slides, and Gary loves to talk, right? And so these are more support things, and there's a lot of little small print in here which no one can ever read. And I'll give you some guidelines on how to make a non-boring type of PowerPoint presentation. But basically, he goes through his presentation here. That's fully available here online. And then his call to action is right down here where it says download now, right? Yeah. And you can read this offline. So there's multiple ways you can do that. It also gives you the ability right here, if you see this little icon, to share, right, your SlideShare via a standard link. You can embed it in your website, through one of these two links, or you can share it directly to, Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Yeah. So it gives you a lot of wide capabilities there. And it's, again, this is a hosting platform for your PowerPoint presentation. Okay. It's not It's not a platform where you create it. It's a platform to host.
Right. So you create it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll create it in like PowerPoint, or you can create it in a Canva, perhaps.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you upload it to the SlideShare platform.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. So the link to this, can we put that in the comment? The link to SlideShare. I think you said it was slideshare.net. So we'll put that in the comments for everybody, in case they wanted to kind of play with it a little bit and see what it has to offer and kind of mess around a little bit, because that's how we learn. And you know, it's actually seems pretty self-explanatory, right? You create the slides or the presentation in a PowerPoint or a Canva, you upload it to SlideShare, then you can distribute it to LinkedIn, and also end up, you know, use the call to action button and be sync right to that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So just like, you know, for those of us that are used to a Facebook post, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. It's the same thing. So there's a lot of capabilities. It's just another platform to share your knowledge and share your resources.
Yeah. And so I've been, you know, I mean, the reason I stumbled across this when I was looking into this is that it was a way to take video and chop it up and create this. So are we talking about taking like still shots of certain video slides and then adding some other slides that maybe are like impactful, or are we actually adding you know, video?
Whatever you can embed into a video, you can export that into SlideShare. So if you have short video clips, you know, there's better platforms. If you have a long form video, half-hour video that you want to do, well, just upload it to YouTube and send it, you know, send the link from YouTube for that. If there's short little video clips, then yeah, of course, then you can do that.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But you know, if you have a short video or like a little 30-second clip or something, because you can put those in any PowerPoint presentation or any other presentation. So as long as you can upload it to the presentation, it will work.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So, you know, LinkedIn has been, it is a platform where I've neglected it a little bit, and my, you know, I have a lot of people that I should be able to reach out to them. And I really am going to start creating some of these PowerPoints so that I can use this feature. So I'm so happy we're talking about it. And this is another way people out there can really, take the content they're creating and repurpose it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else to add when it comes to LinkedIn and video and creating these slides?
Yeah, I was just gonna show you how to do this, how easy it is to do.
Yeah.
The platform itself, SlideShare, used to be embedded and was a control tab at the top of your LinkedIn page, but since they sold it in 2012, now it's external, so that's no longer there. So those of you who have used SlideShare in the past but haven't used it in a while, that's why that function disappeared from within the LinkedIn platform. Okay, so what I wanted to show you real quick is that we talked briefly about how to share this, and if you look next to the heart, there's this little share icon. And let's say I want to put this in my YouTube. I want to put this in my LinkedIn feed, right? So I'm just going to copy this link here and then go to LinkedIn. And again, this is just like Facebook, embedding a video into Facebook. And I'm just going to copy that link in there and give it a second. And there you go. And it preloads. Okay, so here's the presentation link. And then, of course, I will delete that and then put any messaging up here that you want to do. Okay.
I see. Yeah. Up
there. So it's just like Facebook. You can embed a link, and again, if this goes to your own SlideShare page, then obviously they can see other SlideShares that you've created on your own SlideShare platform. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well that is really explanatory. I mean, I think that really explains the whole thing, start to finish. I wanted to touch a little bit on the use of YouTube when it comes to, obviously YouTube is a platform where we can, have our videos live. So that's not any news to anybody, but the idea of organizing it a little bit, right? So that, for instance, the creation of playlists and categorizing your video content so that you can use it, like say somebody wants something specific and you had a collection of 5 videos that really address that specific question or challenge, then you can direct them right to that. So I would love for you to walk us through on YouTube how to create the playlists and how to categorize it and play with that feature.
Sure. Let me just bring up Christine's page. And all of our videos live on the Jade for All Seasons page, even when we do Waist Up Wardrobe. That way she gets everything in the same channel. Okay. So, first of all, you want to create your channel. And then everything that she has here, as you can see, a lot of this stuff, the majority of this stuff here recently is all Waist Up Wardrobe stuff. And then as we go, further, then obviously there's some other content that we created for Jade for All Seasons. So here's a mishmash. There's probably hundreds of video, over 100 videos that she has here on her channel. And for somebody to stumble on this, it's not really organized in a fashion that's easy to navigate and easy to understand. And so that's why we use these playlists. All right. And so here in the playlists, she has
and this is a work in progress, right?
Yeah.
We are really starting to get this a little bit better organized for people to be able to find things easier.
Right. And so we have 4 playlists here that we've created for this demonstration. And it really helps organize these videos, all these different videos, into a category or a similar subject matter. So when you go to your video content list and you see all these videos, right, you can, I'm not going to put this in. Well, let me do this. Okay. So I'm going to edit this one video. And this is video 67. Okay, we already put this in a playlist, but once you get here and you look at all the video details, there's a section here called playlists, and we can select which playlist this is going to go into. Okay, and so 67 was about your video in bits and something, right? I forgot.
Bits and pieces, yeah. That's the
bits and pieces
video.
Yeah, and so this could be another playlist that we could create, if there are other similar videos to that. And so you would create a new playlist, and then it would show up here in the list. And basically all you have to do, this is a Waist Up Wardrobe video. So I'm just going to click insert that into the Waist Up Wardrobe playlist, general playlist, and it can be in multiple playlists, right?
Okay.
So you can have multiple, you can have multiple checks on here, and then all you have to do is save it. And then when we look back at the master list of playlists, I'm just going to refresh this real quick. And we have a lot of things open here, so it's taking a little bit long, or I have a lot of things open here, so it takes a little bit longer. We can go to the Waist Up Wardrobe playlist. There's probably only 1 or 2 videos in here. Yeah, it looks like 1 video. And here it is, and it shows up your video in bits and pieces. Okay, so it's a great way to organize all your content into similar subject matter. So if you, let's say you did like we did for the the ABCs, right? The podcasting ABCs.
Podcasting ABCs.
So there were 4 or 5 videos with that, right?
Right. There's like 7, I think.
7. Okay. So there were 7 videos in here. All right. So here are the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So there's 6 that we have in this particular list. And if you want them, even though you recorded them in chronological order, if you would look in the general list of all your videos in YouTube, it would display in chronological order with everything that you have based on the date, right? Okay. And so when you stick it into the playlist, you may have missed, like here we look 52, 53, there's 55. Oh, I didn't have 54. Okay, I missed 54. But if it was out of order, you can just grab these and put them in any order that you want. So if you, even though you recorded 52 or 52 before 53, maybe you want this, it makes more sense to put it, further down in the playlist because, and so you can reorder these in your playlist in however way you want.
Yeah.
And so two things you can do with this. You can point them to a specific video, right? That you have within the playlist, and you can share that video, or you can actually share the entire playlist of podcasting basics. And if you click on this little arrow here, okay, there's your share code right here, and then you would just copy that.
You just copy that, and how would you forward it?
You can put it in your Facebook feed. You can put it in LinkedIn. You can put it in an email. And
can
so
you
as
do
soon
it in
as
an email?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can put it in an email, and as soon as somebody clicked on that link, they would come to your Facebook channel, and they would see this playlist as you see it right here.
So it's a link to the channel, the actual list is what it is. It's not actually taking the video and embedding it in an email.
No.
Yeah.
It's just a link to your playlist within YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. So what if you just wanted, so that you just showed us how to share the list. What if you just wanted to share one video?
So let's go to this one here. So you have your video bits and pieces. You have the same thing. You have a share button down here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We click on that, and now you get a link to that individual video.
I see. Yeah.
Yep. You just copy that. And again, you can send it off to Facebook, Twitter, and email. Let's see what else they have here. Reddit, link. There's one here for LinkedIn, and it'll open up your channel, and then you can just paste it in there.
Yeah. So that is a really cool feature because, you can talk, can be talking about some content that you created and just send it out, in
easily.
any form.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a very powerful tool to organize your videos. And make it easy for the viewer to find your stuff, and want them and make them want to see more on that particular topic. So great way to do it. Use the playlist.
Yes. And, you can have playlists, like ideas for playlists, like even testimonial videos. People have done testimonials for you. What a great playlist to create so that, if somebody is asking you for some social proof, you just send them the link to your testimonials. That's
right. And here's the thing. So I want to add to that too, because, whatever the subject matter is, YouTube did a great job of creating the capability of doing a playlist. Facebook finally caught on because you can also do Facebook playlists as well if you have uploaded videos directly into Facebook. I
see. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So like categories, like I was thinking about what categories most people on YouTube would use, like client testimonials, product tutorials, if you do products, webinars, things about your company and your company profile. I think there's so many categories that you can isolate so that you can really target challenges or certain questions that people are asking. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I honestly, after we did episode 67 with all the different ways we talked about repurposing LinkedIn and YouTube, I felt like, I haven't done this in my work. And so I really want to explore this further. And here's the thing. We're going to put the hashtag repurpose and shine again for this episode, since it's sort of a supplement to episode 67. And we are going to, offer anybody who is interested just some time to look through their YouTube channel with Rick, so that if you need any guidance during to be able to create those playlists and ideas of what categories to use. So repurpose and shine, that is the hashtag. And we want to just talk about like a little bit about the Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up. The main takeaway here is when we're talking about repurposing, and when it comes to LinkedIn and YouTube, you know, kind of start playing with it. Don't miss that opportunity to get your content all organized in YouTube, or to start really playing with pushing out things to LinkedIn, because those are really big platforms and another way to really market your material and get your content out to people. The tools, obviously, the slideshare.net tool is a very powerful one that helps you host presentations that you've created and then be able to upload them into LinkedIn. And some tips. Really, for me, I'm going to say that I'm going to go to my YouTube and start organizing it and putting it into some really solid lists, so that when somebody asks me for client testimonials, or somebody asks me to show them some how-to videos, really, I know exactly how to respond to those questions with some content that can be really helpful. And finally, action item. Okay, I'm going to give you an action item. If you have a YouTube channel, go to it and start creating and playing with playlists a little bit. Start creating a few playlists and dump some things into there. Think about what your clients or the people that are on YouTube that follow you ask for most of the time. What are the biggest challenges? And maybe put in the content that responds to those challenges. So there you have it, the Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up in a nutshell. Join us next week when we bring you another show at the same time on Thursdays at 11:30, every Thursday, 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. And we are on iTunes and we're on Instagram and Facebook. So go ahead, go download our episodes, rate us and review us on iTunes if you can. And we'll see you again next week in the same place.